Hey, welcome in. Well, here's the latest note on the death of Western civilization, and it's another list of words that you can't say anymore. Eventually, they can just give us a list of words that we can say, because it'll be easier to remember than all the banned words, which will be basically everything. It'll probably be like 10 words you're allowed to say, like racism and transphobia and supremacy, and that'll be it. And that'll be heaven for the left, because that's all anybody will be able to talk about. They'll just only be able to say racism and transphobia. That's it. 2 words. That's the future of the English language, is my prediction. But here's the headline. University Language Guide says grandfather, housekeeping, spirit animal are problematic words. Problematic to who? Fringe lunatics, who apparently run everything now. Let's see, a University of Washington language guide is calling everyday words used by Americans problematic. And this is from the University of Washington. And they've released their inclusive language guide that lists a number of problematic words that are racist, sexist, ageist, and homophobic. I wonder if just all the normal people can just get together and decide that the words racist, sexist, ageist, and homophobic are problematic. And we don't want anybody to use them anymore. Because it's triggering to us. Because it gives us PTSD at being called those words constantly for no reason by lunatics. By people that think that everything is those words. But anyway, let's see. So they've got it out for grandfather, housekeeping, minority, ninja, and also lame. These are all very problematic words to crazy people who apparently we have to listen to for some reason. So let's see, the language guide states that the word lame is considered problematic because it's ableist. I think eventually they might try and ban jogging, right? Because jogging surely is ableist, or being really good at hockey or football or something. That's got to be ableist too, right? And, we do have to remember that the people who make these rules are lunatics. But anyway, let's see, the word is offensive, even when it's used in slang for uncool, because it's using a disability in a negative way to imply that the opposite, which would be not lame, to be superior. But isn't it actually better to not be disabled? I mean, wouldn't disabled people say that? I'm not trying to be mean here, but it just is objectively better to not be disabled, right? Everybody kind of knows that, but okay. But I think it should also be said that, people aren't saying something is lame, but that doesn't equal them saying, oh, that thing is disabled. That's not the point of it. Intent should matter. But anyway, the guide also states that the term minority implies a less than attitude towards a certain community. But the whole minority thing, that was the left. That was their thing. That's their obsession. It is the left that started using minority to describe other races or abilities. And in fact, they use it like it's a superpower. So I don't know what they're complaining about now. And let's see, grandfather is a problematic word because the term was used as a way to exempt some people from a change because of conditions that existed before the change. That doesn't really sound all that problematic to me, to be honest. Let's see, grandfather clause originated in the American South in the 1890s as a way to defy the 15th Amendment and prevent Black Americans from voting. Okay, it's not the 1890s and nobody uses it that way anymore. Problem solved. I guess you can just move on now, can't you? But you're not going to, are you? Because you love telling people what to do, crazy leftist. Anyway, here we go, housekeeping. Boy, they just don't give up, these people. There is nothing so microscopically small that they can't identify it as oppression. So let's see, housekeeping is another problematic word that the guide recommends should be avoided by others working in the information technology industry because it can feel gendered. Oh no, you wouldn't want anybody to feel gendered. You wouldn't want anybody in this sexually reproducing, sexually dimorphic species to feel gendered. That'd be the end of the world, wouldn't it? I know the leftists dream of a beautiful future where everybody has the same bowl haircut and wears identical gray overalls, and babies are only created in labs. But I'll tell you what, I don't mind feeling gendered, and I think 99.9% of people don't either. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Somebody somewhere is offended. Okay. Phrases with man, such as manpower, man hours, or man in the middle, is considered not inclusive and thus sexist. I guess that's it. Argument over. A crazy person considers these words not inclusive, and then thus they're sexist, obviously. I mean, that's the only rational conclusion that you can come to. Because when you say a word like manpower, well, obviously you hate women. You know what? I can't help but wonder, why doesn't it matter that this is all bullshit? Why doesn't it matter that nobody actually cares about any of this? Why doesn't it matter that this is all just made up? I mean, why do universities like the University of Washington, why do these institutions need to go through this bizarre play acting? But anyway, the language guide also considers preferred pronouns as problematic because the term preferred suggests that a person's pronoun is optional. I'm sorry, if you make up a pronoun for yourself like zer or jur or something like that, how can that not be optional? How can something that you just made up yesterday not be optional? How can that not be a choice that you're making, right? You don't have to use ver. Absolutely nobody's forcing you to do it. You don't have to. You just made up something stupid because you're a narcissist and you want to get attention. That's it. And get this, this is the kicker. This is hilarious. The webpage gives a sample prompt for employees to use when sending emails to vendors about this issue as well. Quote, unfortunately, in working with your product service, we have identified language that can be considered offensive due to its racist, ableist, and or sexist origins. Can you let us know what efforts you are undertaking to move away from this language so as to create a more inclusive product service? Because everybody in the world has to do what they say. They will not be happy until every other person in the world is also insane, has also been infected with their mind virus. It's almost like a form of possession. Once they've been infected with it, they can think of nothing else but isms and is and phobes. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me out. If you just like to listen, there's the podcast Radio Baloney. It's on pretty much every platform. If you look for it, you will find it. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.